They left us alone, Maria.
Oh, they are coming now.
Okay, there is the audio of the YouTube that arrive later.
Yes. Yes,
Uh,
YouTube.
and that
YouTube has delay, yes. So you don't have to be there. You only be here.
Okay, there is the audio of the YouTube that arrive later.
Yes. Yes, YouTube.
And that
YouTube has delay, yes. So you don't have to be there. You only be here.
Okay, there is the audio of the YouTube that arrive later.
Yes. Yes, YouTube.
And that
YouTube has delay, yes.
This is interesting.
You don't have to be there. You only be here.
Okay, there is the audio.
Sergio, would you ever turn this off?
Yes. Yes, YouTube. YouTube has delay, yes.
This is interesting.
Okay, I think we are all here. So, good morning, all. If we could just participate on our chat, putting where you are watching this webinar, the country or the city, so we can know what participants are come from.
Patricia, you will introduce everyone or we will be introducing ourselves? Okay.
I will introduce everyone. Okay, we have people from Cascais, Portugal. Hi. Croatia, great. So 1 minute and we've started. Brag. Great. Also.
Maybe it's Pippa, isn't it?
Yes, it's Pippa.
So she made it in the end.
Yep.
Hello,
Ukraine. Hello.
Germany and Sweden.
hmm Great. So we will start the webinar. I think it's time. So welcome you all to this green webinar, powering by the DEED project, our European funded, co-funded project. So first, thank you all for being here and watching our webinar. It's a pleasure to share our progress inside our DEED project during this last year and also this year that has been great to us to build this micro lessons and share with you all our main achievements. So you all have all access to our program, but just to let you know, we have small presentations from our different partners. We will start with the first presentation, that is the green competence, and also uh, explain to you what the project is by our coordinator, ProEduca. After that, they will share also the content regarding the main concept of their macro lessons. After that, we will have Aziye, we have the content about Dana. It's about approaches of green competences framework being green in everybody's business. After that, we will have our presentation, since we are Portuguese partners, will be about citizens' perception on air quality. After that, we will have a different type of presentation here. So we'll have to show you which what macroclasses could be different, and we will have insect extinction, what politics must do, by Linda. Will be a recorded presentation to show you a different way of presenting content on a webinar. After that, we will have ADM sending us some information about embodying sustainability values and experience navigating digital environment education. And at last but not least, we'll have embodying sustainability values focus on promoting nature micro lessons by Cesur, our Spanish partners. So we will have a surprise presentation. Let's see if we can handle that. So thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, no matter how small they are, if there are details, just feel free to share your thoughts and your questions, your suggestions on our chat. So I will now pass the ball to Lucy. Lucy is our project coordinator for the DEED project. She's from Czech Republic. She's responsible for the ProEduca organization, and she is an educational professional, innovator, project manager. She has 30 years of experience, professional experience in education, so she's the best person to explain to what the DEED project is and what she's had been doing for the past years. So Lucy, the floor is yours, and thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to try to share my screen now. Okay. So I am sharing this, and I'm sharing my sound as well.
Lucy, microphone is off. I think you just.
I think now it is good, but okay. Okay, so once again, thank you for mentioning this. I didn't realize it was. So now you can hear me, and I'm going to my presentation. Hope you still can hear me well. So as educators, as I already mentioned, as educators, we have this unique opportunity and also responsibility to equip the next generation with the knowledge, skills, and attitudes of various kinds. And these elements are necessary to address the environmental challenges that we, and especially the young generation, faces now. In my short presentation, I will try to introduce you the concept of green competence as defined by the European Union Green Comp framework. And we can discuss how various digital tools and possibly microlearning can play an important role in teaching these competences. Shortly, green competence refers to the ability to understand and act upon issues that are related to sustainability and the environment. This broad range of capabilities, including environmental awareness, sustainable consumption, and the promotion of ecological balance, goes together in this framework. These competencies are truly essential for fostering a generation that can contribute meaningfully to the sustainable future on our planet. Excuse me. The Green Competence Framework is sort of comprehensive guide that is designed to integrate green competence into education across Europe. So this should be used as a main manual for secondary and vocational teachers to know how to integrate it into our teaching. This framework identifies several key areas of knowledge, skills, and attitudes that students should develop to become environmentally responsible citizens. The framework is built around these four main dimensions: embodying sustainability values, then embracing complexity in sustainability, envisioning sustainable future, and how to act for sustainability. Now, I will very briefly describe these four parts because even though they are described in the book itself in a very rich way, I will try to just take out some main ideas for you to understand the context. The first area, embodying sustainability values, encourages us to reflect these, to think about and question our own beliefs, which means understand which of our habits are not suitable and which are suitable and why it is. And also to embrace values that support sustainability. It also talks about standing up for fairness and justice, which in simple words mean to make sure that today's and future generation can enjoy a healthy planet. Another aspect is to see ourselves as a part of nature, which basically means to recognize that humans are deeply connected to the natural world, of course. Second area is about embracing complexity in sustainability and what it means. It means to develop critical and systemic thinking, which translated to simpler language means to learn to analyze information carefully and question them and question everything that is related to our unsustainable practices. Another point is to understand connections and feedback, which means to see how different parts of a system are linked together and how they affect each other. And the last point in this area talks about viewing challenges as sustainability issues. For example, to recognize the scale of problems and or to consider everyone involved in those problems and issues. Another area is about the future, about envisioning sustainable futures. And in basic language, it means to be able to imagine different future scenarios, to think about various possible futures and what we can do to achieve a sustainable one. It also encourages us to be adaptable, which means to learn to cope with uncertainty and make trade-offs for a better future. It also encourages us to use creativity and broad thinking, to apply creative solutions and interdisciplinary ideas to build a circular society. And the last important message in this area is that we should be able to encourage imaginative thinking, which means to use our own imagination and use it to think about and plan for the future. And the last area talks about acting for sustainability. And it means to take some individual steps and actions. For example, encourage everyone to do their part for sustainability. Work together for collective action, like join forces with others to make some better impact. Another point is to shape a sustainable future, which means to do what we can to ensure a healthier planet for everyone. And the last one is to advocate for change, which basically means to push for an action whenever possible from leaders and those who are in power. So this was the overview of these 4 main areas of the GreenComp framework of European Union. And now, let's talk about the necessity of helping the young generation acquire these competencies. Our world is truly facing unprecedented environmental challenges, from climate change to biodiversity loss and resource depletion. And all these issues are not just scientific or technical problems. They are deeply intertwined with social and economic factors. Therefore, it is necessary that we prepare our students to face and address these challenges in some holistic and informed manner. Education is truly a powerful tool for change. We all know it because we are teachers. And by integrating green competence into our teaching, we can contribute to a more sustainable world for our children, of course. One effective way to teach green competencies is through the use of digital tools and possibly combined with microlessons. Digital tools, we all know them because they are very much promoted these days, such as interactive infographics or videos or augmented or virtual reality and online collaboration platforms. All of these can make learning about complex environmental issues much more engaging and accessible. So we all are encouraged to use them. On the other hand, microlessons, which are short, focused learning units, are particularly effective in this context. They can be very easily integrated into existing curricula and provide a flexible way to introduce key concepts of green competence. And these lessons can cover a wide range of topics, from understanding the carbon footprint of everyday activities to exploring the principles of circular economy and sustainable design, and many more. Today we will see many of these. So, as a result, teaching the green competence is not just an option, but it is a necessity indeed. Here you can see our small team. Well, in this picture we are rather big, but our small core development team cooperating in the DEED project, which stands for Digital Environmental Education, is currently developing a set of 200 micro lessons that all are addressing the green competencies in many various digital ways. And these lessons are designed so that they are suitable for secondary and vocational levels. After all lessons will have been finalized, we will provide them to all teachers across EU, together with micro-certification scheme that we are also developing alongside, which will be for the effective assessment of students. And also, of course, with a detailed guide for you, the teachers, and this guide should be helping you to use these tools in your daily teaching, daily practice. So in the following 6 presentations, you can watch how 6 different partners approach this challenge. We will present to you one by one some of our outcomes. Obviously not all, because we have 200 of them, but we will show you 6 or slightly above 6 and introduce the process of the micro-lesson development. Each presentation and demonstration will last approximately 10 minutes, but if you have any questions during these presentations, feel free to write them into the YouTube chat, and our assistants will collect all your questions, and in the last 20 minutes, we will have a final discussion, which will start around 11:40 Central European time, and then we will try to answer all of them. So I'm stopping sharing my introductory presentation, and I give word back to Patricia, or you think, Patricia, I can continue right away? All right.
I think you can continue right away. Just to let you know, Lucy now will present conscientious decision making. So she will share an overview of her presentation and also share with you some micro lessons. Feel free.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going through the process of sharing my screen again. Hope it will work this time without a problem. Okay, so I have my presentation here, and now I am sharing the screen. If there is no sound, please remind me, Patricia, right away, so that there is no problem. I think my sound was automatically off, so I need to do it again without the sound first, and then I will. Okay. So here I am, and now it should be working. Okay, so as Patricia already mentioned, this presentation will be about conscious decision making, but the conscious decision making that is related to environmental things, decisions about our environmental choices that we have. But apart from the microlesson itself, I will try to describe in detail the entire development process, because there was a lot of decision and little steps that I needed to go through to come to some final conclusion, which in the end I understood that it's still not the final one. So I want to show you how my very first microlesson looked like and what was the decision process behind it. I decided to create the lesson about conscious decision making in environmental context. Before the actual creation of the microlesson video, there was a long thinking process in which I needed to identify the key message, that will be presented, that I wanted to be presented in my micro lesson, and then which format would be the best for our students and for this particular key message. Once I took the final decision about the topic and key message, the actual process started with writing a script, which is also known as a storyboard. This is a very handy tool for every video maker to plan the content and timing of the audio and visual elements within the video. The script can look, for example, like this, but you can take any other, it can take any other shape that suits you. But basically, you can see that there are 2 columns or 3 columns, steps, the number of steps. Then I have the text that is being said by the narrator of the video, or this text can be shown on the slides of the video, on the pages of the video. And also there are these visual elements in the last column, and it describes very briefly what should be depicted in the video on that particular slide. What kind of animation should be there to simply support what the narrator is saying. For the actual micro lesson development, I decided to use an application that is called Doodly. Maybe some of you are familiar with it. Don't mistake it for Doodle, for planning. This is Doodly. And this application allows you to create videos based on drawings. I always like this kind of instructional videos when the hand draws the image and writes the text on the whiteboard, while the voice explains the context more in detail. At the time, I already owned this application, so I decided to use it. The application is quite simple and intuitive. You can simply drag and drop elements on the screen. You can add scenes, character, props, text, or sounds, everything all together on the timeline. And then here you can set up some duration or delay of these elements so that they appear and disappear in time as you wish. And when you're happy with the result, you can simply export the video as a whole, or which was something I learned during the process, it's better to create more and smaller pieces of these little videos in Doodly and then combine them in some other video maker. Doodly, the reason is that the Doodly becomes a little bit clumsy when the video is too big. But this is like a small detail everyone can solve. Of course, to make the video perfect, I also decided to add a voiceover into it. Of course, I didn't want to use my own voice because I hate it, as everybody else. So I tried to develop the voiceover with, again, with artificial intelligence application. And I used this one. You can see the interface here on my screen, but you could use any other. I chose this one, and I was looking for a voice that could fit. Sadly, I found only one child voice available in the free version of it. So I went for it. You can see here, you can add your text, adjust it a little bit, so you can add gaps or some melody in it. Then you can choose here from many different languages you want, and then you can choose many different characters too. So as I said, I choose the child, expecting it to be the best one for this purpose. And then I finally exported the video. Now I would like to show you the final version, well, not the final, the current version of my micro lesson. And I'm going to try to run my video. I will put it to the beginning, and
I think the sound, it's not sharing, so.
Seek information and listen to different opinions. The goal is to make the best decision with all the information available. And one more important thing, we also think about protecting our environment when we make informed decisions. This means that we try to make decisions so that our actions do not harm nature. We want our planet to be healthy, and for people and animals to live happily on it. So we choose options that are respectful of our environment and help maintain balance. Conscious decision making is a great tool to help us make sensible and beneficial choices. It helps us to consider all the important things and make the world around us a better place.
Okay, so that was the demonstration of how this lesson works. And just a couple of more notes in the very end of my presentation. Of course, it was a process that developed in time. So I would like to share what I learned from this process and what are my plans for the future. This is a creative process, and the perception of the result by the creator may be very different from the one that the viewers have. So it always needs to be taken as a, let's say, piece of art or something that may or may not fit everyone. The first thing you may have noticed was a very special voice that was maybe not the best choice, that I must admit, to listen to, and maybe also for the target, because it may have sounded too childish. On the other hand, we have added subtitles that complement the voiceover and help students with the voice. Another important thing we faced was the translation of the microlesson in our project. We want to provide all microlessons in all partner languages. So the work with voiceovers may be tricky here, because if you want to make a different language version of the video, the actual text may last longer. So that was another tricky thing. As a final step, I want to do is to change the voiceover. I will replace it with one that probably will be much more suitable. And with this little change, I hope the lesson will be appreciated by the teachers and mostly by the students much better. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to add it into the chat under the YouTube streaming, and I give word back to Patricia.
Thank you, Lucy, for this great presentation. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to write on our chat and mention the presentation that you are making the question, so at the end we can understand more where the questions come from. So thank you, Lucy, again. Now we will have our second presentation. Will be from Azie. Then Robota will share about approaches of green competences framework, being green in everybody's business. So Azie is our Romanian partner. She is, as Lucy, are a professional in the educational sector for 20 years, more than 20 years of experience. She coordinates European projects. She works with our with us, Portuguese partners, for a long time. And also, she been implementing by different associations and worked in different international teams, both for mobility projects and for partnership projects also. So, Dana, the floor is yours. And thank you again for bringing this topic to this webinar.
Thank you very much, Patricia, and hello, everybody. As you learned, I'm Dana. I come from Iași, which is the biggest city in northeast of Romania. And I am representing here today an association, the Association for Enhancing Educational Initiatives. Of course, I work also as a school counselor in a high school in Iași and with kindergarten children. And I also am an adult trainer. But today, as you heard already from Patricia, I am trying while speaking to share my screen. You will see that my presentation has this quote, "Being green is everybody's business." It is a quote that I picked like 4 years ago, just before the pandemic, from a young child. He was like 5 years and a half. And while we had this evaluation talk for preparing him for the primary school, he told me, as an answer to why it is important to know about the nature and to protect it, he literally told me like that, "Look, lady, being green is everybody's business." And I loved his attitude. And I considered that it is maybe the best quote to illustrate some photos that you can see in the right part of your screen. They illustrate some of the local activities that our association is doing during time, because this topic was a very attractive one for the association I am working with. So we were very pleased when Lucy had this project idea, and we are now proud to tell you some things that we did inside this project. But before I will move on with the information and with our own lesson samples, I will provoke you to a small practical exercise, because you know I am really an educator that wants to put people to work. I will really ask you to be very, very attentive and responsive, because the exercise will be fast forward. We don't have much time. So tell me if you can see an image, a strange image on your screen. If my partners can confirm, because I know our viewers on YouTube can dialogue us with chat, but if partners can see this strange image?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So the question is very simple. What do you see in this picture? And please try to focus on the patterns, on the nature of the picture, what may represent. If it reminds you of anything else you have seen before, try to write it down if you are using the chat, or try to make a mental note. I am sure that our brain works very fast. So by the time I am telling you, you already have maybe an idea, a word that is describing what it is in the picture. So I will just zoom out and I will ask you again, what do you think it is representing this picture? Some of you might have an idea, and by the time I am telling you, you already have this idea. So please make again a mental note, or even write it down, what this picture can represent. And I will move to the zooming out more and more. And I think that by this time, the vast majority of the people watching already have a pretty correct idea of what it is. So I'll just reveal you the picture, the entire picture. So it is a wonderful bee into a flower, and she is full of pollen. What a great symbol for our great webinar, this green webinar. What I wanted you to do actually was to dive in for a strategic way of thinking. It is a a way of thinking that is not required only by my presentation, but also for the entire webinar, because you will do this all along our presentation, zooming in for understanding some very precise details related to the topic and to the way we worked our lessons, or zooming out, considering the big picture and how you could integrate this topic into your regular subjects or into your educational activities. It is a strategic way of thinking. Of course, the exercise can be made longer, and the younger the children, the more extraordinary the reaction when they realize what image have been guessing. Now, about the Green Competence Conceptual Reference Model. You already heard from Lucy many details about this model. What I want to draw attention at this point is on the resource, and you have this online resource website where you can download this reference model in your own language for a more accessible lecture. I can tell you personally that for me, this was the biggest revelation of this project at the beginning, because even if we made a lot of green activities and a lot of environment awareness a long time, this is the first time when I see a systematic approach on the competences. And this model actually can offer to any professional working in educational field the theoretical framework in which they then can develop a program, a topic, a subject, an optional activity with students at any level and at any subject. So you have seen this picture in Lucy's presentation as well. I would like you, and I'm projecting it to encourage you to use this visual that was actually used by the creators of the model. It is the visual of a beehive where some key elements are represented in the 4 dimensions that you can see in the right part of the screen. So it is the beehive, one of the values. It is pollen or the nectar, it is the flowers and the bees. I like very much this visual because it helps us understand how everything is interconnected, and it helps us to represent these essential competencies that were considered inside this model in a very, very attractive and visual way. I made also a systematic representation. So you can see the 4 dimensions with the 3, each of the dimension having the 3 competences. In the model, you will have very precise descriptors, even examples. So everything in this model is very clear, and any educator could use this model in order to design any kind of activity, big or small, concerning these green competences. Then when we approached the creation of the lessons, we had to really consider that there is a huge amount of information on internet about anything related with environment and with being green. So what we really need at this point is not maybe selecting the most relevant information, but taking care a little bit on how this information is delivered. So moving from the factual and informative education to transformative education. And I purposely didn't make a slide with this transformative education because I would really like you to remember this concept after our meeting today and search about it and see what is the difference between being formative, being normative, or being transformative. And being transformative is related much more with not only transferring the information, but working on the attitude and working on the behavior, creating this moral engagement of the learner. The personal engagement of the learner is essential for this kind of competencies, because in the end, being green is not about any subject at school. It's not about curriculum. It is about life itself. So taking the real life into the classroom, or going with the classroom in the real life, is actually the essence of being transformative. And our micro lessons have been following this idea of designing a learning material that could be used in many ways, even in classroom or outside the classroom, as an introductory lesson or as an exemplification lesson, many kind of using for our learning material. Each of the video audio creation is accompanied by a suggestion of lesson plan. Of course, it is not the only approach, but we tried to have also to provide to the teacher the information about how actually our material can be implemented into a lesson or into an activity inside the lesson. And now I will just show you some of our lessons. We created 30 lessons. They are not on their final version, so we need our peer inter-evaluation before making the final structure of our lesson. We had several approaches, so we have several kind of information and of approach inside our lesson. One of the approach was to make the complex concept simpler, easier. And of course, we tried to use animation and video. You can see here a sample lesson of Panarchy Made Simple. I hope the sound is working. It is an example of system thinking. There's the second dimension. I will move on to using animation and also using voiceover. As you learned from Lucy's example, we tried also to see if it is more efficient to use a voice. And
in nature's symphony, feedback is like the conductor, ensuring harmony and balance. But what exactly is feedback? Feedback is when one thing affects another, and that thing, in turn, affects the first thing, creating a loop of interaction. It's like a dance between elements in nature, keeping everything in tune. Let's take an example from the natural world.
We also used animated presentation and inserted real-world examples, as in this lesson about what is restoration ecology. We proposed relevant activity-based example, which could be replicated in own context. We even have this activity implemented because in our area, we really have some very significant trees, and Romanian attending to this meeting know what I'm speaking about. If I tell you Teiul lui Eminescu, you will know what I'm meaning.
Trees are vital for oxygen production through the process of photosynthesis. They serve as carbon sinks, helping mitigate climate change by absorbing carbon dioxide. Trees improve air quality by absorbing pollutants and releasing oxygen.
Or we offered some clothing idea under the sustainable fashion approach. These kind of ideas could be very, very easily and very effectively implemented in the classroom or outside the classroom. Or we tried to design stories using the storytelling technique in order to invite students to reflect, to debate on values and on ethical behavior, for example. Okay. And we had also this approach of inviting the learners themselves to exercise some self-reflection techniques or some approaches which are designed for personal development, for connecting with nature, like this self-reflection. Or the technique of engaging the five senses. These techniques can be exercised also individually. Anybody can do it. And we also used trivia quizzes or evaluation lessons, which are highly interactive. As you can see, you can project the question, stop, ask the students to respond if they know, to comment, to give ideas. Then you can just project the answer. And ask them again to come up with debates, with examples, with how, for example, in this case, the plastic pollution poses severe threats to the natural world. And some of our proposals included also infographics. They also have this approach of zooming in, zooming out, because we had study cases like Copenhagen for climate resilient city, which is definitely a zoom in approach. But we also had approaches for a zoom out perspective, considering sustainable practices that any school could implement for a greener learning environment. All these lessons are now in a testing phase. And in the end, we will have from our side these 30 proposals, 30 resources. And I hope I will be able, by the end of the project, provide also national language versions. This is the greatest challenge, and I think for our last part of the project. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer. And I hope we will meet you for other presentations and for other exploration on this topic.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you for sharing this great presentation and all the content that you already developed for the project. I reinforce again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put on our chat. We will, at the end of the session, we'll have a small Q&A session to clarify everything. So now it's our time to present our Portuguese content regarding air quality perception. So I will share my screen now. 1 second. And yeah, so I think you all can see my screen. Great. So for this presentation, we will present you citizen perception or air quality. So first, our main goal is to recognize the green competences that we addressed during the development of our micro lessons. So there will be a short presentation. We will explain to you which parts of the green competences we addressed, the development of a process, and also the description of the main green competences. Then we will give you some tips and also some content that were inside our micro lessons regarding air quality indexed. How can we proceed with that? What it means? How can we analyze the charts, the tables? And also after that, we will share with you 2 micro lessons of our 30. They are regarding air pollution and explain to you the process of developing as Dana did and Lucy. So our university, I think we have time to know about it, but we are Portuguese partners, so we have our scientific research department here, and we are a private university, so we focus on our bachelor and master degrees in aeronautics, in engineering, in health, in management. So are different types of approaches. Then about me, part of projects, I will not focus on this because we have the purpose of this is to share with you the content. So the process of developing the micro lessons, that is something that has been ongoing process, and Lucy has mentioned it has always be the draft, and we always have to look at things that, okay, I can improve this, so I have the final result, but somehow it feels like we always have a way to improve. And our it's not just me, also Professor Ana Paula. We worked together for almost a year to develop different type of micro lessons with the micro lesson plan, but also the content itself. If it would be digital storytelling, a video, infographics. We develop podcasts, musics, games, presentations, and also comics versions. So we try to put together different type of approaches and try to innovative way to deliver some content with the micro lesson plan also. So we will have a chance to, at the end of a project, share with you all the content that we did. So feel free to, at the end of the presentation, gather our contacts to let you know about the projects when they are in the national language. We, as Lucy mentioned, we have green competences that are embodying sustainability values, embracing complexity and sustainability, envisioning sustainable futures, and acting for sustainability. But for the air pollution, we develop a series, and for air pollution, we develop 4 episodes in a video format. And also, we add 4 renewable energies content, and we focus on embracing capacity and sustainability, and that's what our main focus were about, because we try to put the critical thinking and also the problem framing, and that are 2 main aspects that you will see when you had a chance to watch our micro lessons, that we try to develop the content that would raise awareness for our community regarding air pollution, but not just air pollution itself, because other content would address different part of our green competences. And we had recognizing independencies and engaging diverse perspectives in the problem framing. That will be the first episode of our video. And also we will have the critical thinking that we will show you in our memory game, because we also develop games that would address with the micro lesson plan and presentation to create this way to interact with students. And the critical
excuse me, there is a comment in the chat that your presentation is not advancing. We still can see only the first page.
Oh, sorry. Okie dokie. Just 1 second. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry for that. Thank you for sharing. This is the citizens' perception on equality. I was putting the presentation, so the topics. I think I will just pass again just to make sure that you see all of it, but in a fast way. About the Institute, this is about our university, about us, about presenting, but also Professor Ana Paula helped us developing the micro lessons. Here I was mentioning the different types of micro lessons we had, digital storytelling, videos, infographic, podcasts, music, games, presentation, and also comics to address to the micro lesson plan and implement a different way of approaching our students. The green competences, we were focused this presentation on embracing complexity in sustainability, even though the other micro lessons address different topics, but this one would be just embracing complexity in sustainability. And here I was, and sorry for not sharing the screen correctly. Here the problem framing, recognizing dependencies, and also the critical thinking. So this will be the focus on this presentation. And the question here, when we raise this topic, it's most of our community doesn't know what air quality index means, or what actually is air quality. And the content our micro lesson address that. It's raising awareness, but air quality in a simple way, it's measure how clean or polluted the air is, and creating a way of measuring a framework to measure this quality. It's something that our community should know about it, and should be the awareness should rise regarding this topic. So air quality index works of like a thermometer that runs from 0 to 500 degrees, and it shows in a different type of colors, indicating if it's okay to breathe that specific air or not. And its focus is on 5 major air pollutants. So it's ground level ozone, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide, and also airborne particles and aerosols. So they focus on their 5 major air pollutants, and also they project that same scale to qualify. So they put the quantitative measure to a qualitative measure. And when they do that, they simplify the content to our community, because no one knows if 5 milligrams per decimeter cubic decimeter means something. Then you have to know if it's safe or not to breathe that specific air. So the way that quality index tries to convert to a normal way of analyzing the content is the key to address to, and also to raise awareness to our community. And also, why does air quality change from day to day? Because sometimes people, okay, today we have a green tab that means it's okay to breathe that specific air, but why tomorrow or maybe yesterday was not okay? It's due to the difference of temperature, also the wildfires that attacked our climate, and also the value of air quality index is calculated for each pollutant, and whichever one has the highest value becomes the overall air quality index for that specific period. So it's not a specific quantitative aspect, is relative. It depends on the other values. And that's why sometimes we have a great quality index a specific time of the day. And due to, if it's a sunny day, for example, they can create higher levels of air pollution. But if it's a windy day, the same pollutants from one area to other, and that affects the air quality of that specific area for that specific day. Worldwide, this is a standardized way of measuring the air quality. And you can address all your questions regarding the air quality measure in your specific community in different types of the day. And where does information about air quality come from? Is different type of resources, though they don't rely on a specific one due to some instrument issues. So we rely on different types. We rely on instruments on the ground, sensors, also satellites. For example, EGNOS, NOAA. We have different types of different communities, and we just try to put them all together to gather some content at the end. And also Joint Polar Satellite System, they also collect information about particles in our air. These particles include smoke particles from wildfires, airborne dust during dust and sandstorms. How do I protect myself when air quality is bad? It's a great question. We know about the air quality index, but how can I protect myself? since I'm someone from the community, how can I protect myself from that? So if you are at home, you can close your doors and windows, for example. If you are running your window air conditioner, you could just put it in the recirculation setup, and so it stops pulling air from outside. But something that happens similar when you are driving and you don't want to breathe the air outside your car. Step 2 is consider purchasing an air purifier or a filter to purify your home. With this process, you can be also know that you are safe. If you are outside, but also you can implement the same technique inside, but if you are outside, we recommend, and also with the micro lesson, to use we have different type of apps nowadays for everything, and we have apps that can give us the content about if it's safe or not to breathe. And Air Now, for example, we have other different apps, but Air Now, it just puts you in the color tab, if it's green, if it's orange, if it's red, and you know for sure if it's safe or not to breathe a specific air. For example, you can also wear 95 mask, for example, if it's going to breathe outside. So you know exactly the air quality, in that raise awareness. For our micro lessons, we developed a video I will show you now. This is the first draft of the video, and it was an episode of a series. It was 4 episodes, and even though they are independent, they connect with each other. And now I just have to stop sharing to share the screen with the audio. Just 1 second. Okay.
Hello enthusiasts, and welcome to today's lesson on air pollution. My name is Deed, and I will be your guide today. This lesson makes part of the 12 green competencies, and it reflects embracing complexity in sustainability, more precisely the environmental challenges and the problem framing. Embrace our Deed project. You can change the world. Let's start by diving into the definition. What is air pollution? So, air pollution is the contamination of the indoor or outdoor environment by any chemical, physical, or biological agent that modifies the natural characteristics of the atmosphere. It can alter the composition of gases, affecting all living things on Earth, and any imbalance may cause harm to life. The causes of air pollution are diverse. Fossil fuel burning, common in factories and industrial applications, emits sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. Agricultural activities release hazardous gases like ammonia due to the use of insecticides, pesticides, and fertilizers. Along with controlled burning, landfill waste generates methane, a significant greenhouse gas. Industries release hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, and organic compounds. Are you curious to know more? Let's go! Indoor sources also play a role, with household cleaning products and painting supplies contributing to indoor air pollution. Vehicle pollution is a major concern, emitting harmful substances like carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, nitrogen oxide, and particulate matter. This pollution contributes to ozone layer depletion, smog, and various health issues. Are you curious to learn more? Stay tuned for more insights into combating air pollution and its impacts in the following micro lessons.
Patricia, you are still muted, sorry.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Sorry. So just to end this presentation, just 1 minute, I will share just our Deed memory game regarding renewable energies and how to promote a sustainable development. This is the second part of the critical thinking. So if our students want to play, they have this memory card, and then they just have to start now making a match between different content, Green Roof, and try to play and learn at the same time. So it's a way to play and have some fun, also learning what main comp said. So that's it. And in this, all the content will be shared with you at the end of the project at the end of this year. So yes, thank you. Okay. Great. Again, if you have any questions, feel free. Okay. So for now, I will give the floor to Linda. As mentioned in the first part of this webinar, we will have this presentation as a recorded one to show you also a different way of presenting webinars and the content itself. So our speaker prepared this recorded version, and we will share with you. Linda is from LearnBar, is also one of our partners. She recorded the content regarding insect extinction, what policies must do, what everyone can do. And she has a bachelor in sociology and politics. She has been employed in LearnBar for 1.5 years in the projects team. She has been involved in different green competences and also micro-lesson projects as DEED, Access, SEDIs. So she has a lot of knowledge, and I will share now the video with you. If you have any questions similar to our presentations, feel free to share. Just 1 second.
Hello everyone, I'm Linda. I've been working at LearnBar, and today I and the LearnBar Association are presenting our micro lesson on insect extinction. Unfortunately, I can't present live today, but I hope that I can still explain everything to you in an understandable way. Here you can see the content of our presentation. We start with why we decided to choose the topic of insects and the insects extinction as a topic for sustainability. And our micro lesson is in the format of a video, and we will explain this in the following point and show you the advantages of a video as a form of learning and of course the disadvantages. And then I will show you our micro lesson. Afterwards, you will see how we created the video and how the micro lesson can be used in the classroom. As already mentioned, I'll quickly explain why we choose insect as our theme for sustainability. We choose it because insects are indispensable for us and the ecosystem. Just to give you an overview, I listed the 4 main tasks that we could not live without. First, they form the basis of many food chains and ecosystem, and second, they control plant pests, and they improve the soil structure. And the 4th task, which is a very important one of insects, is the pollination. They pollinate most wild plants and 3/4 of cultivated plants. So as I said, insects are indispensable. So hopefully you can understand why insects are so important to us and why students should learn about them. Now that I've explained why we choose the topic of insects, I'll explain why we use a video as a learning format. A video has 4 clear advantages over other formats. First, the images in the video, which in our case show insects, help to illustrate the diversity and importance of the insect world and make the abstract topic of insect extinction more tangible for the students. Another advantage of a video is that it can create emotional closeness to the topic. And learning videos also promote multisensory learning because the sense of hearing and seeing are addressed. And another advantage of a video is that if they are well designed, they get attention more quickly, and it is often easier for students to find motivation for a short educational video than for a long text. But of course, videos also have disadvantages. When students watch videos to learn, they may only passively watch the content and not take it in. And a major disadvantage of video is that it offers little opportunity for interactive questions, discussion, or individual learning needs. And nevertheless, we decided to use a video when designing the micro lesson because we wanted to use impressive images to get learners interested. And because it is a very short video, learners should not shy away from watching it 2 or 3 times if necessary. And now I show you the video we made.
Insects can be called lifesavers or the real rulers of the earth. Their role in the ecosystem is what makes life on our planet possible in the first place. 80 to 90% of all plants are pollinated by animals, and most of them are insects. For example, worker bees in a hive can visit 2 to 3 million flowers per day. Insects are one of the oldest life forms on the planet. But it is precisely this species that is disappearing more and more. The 6th mass extinction is in full swing. The decline in insect biomass is substantial. Shrinkage is at an alarming 2.5% annually. The loss of biomass is 75% for flying insects over the past 30 years. More than 40% of pollinating insects are threatened with extinction. Overall, insect species are experiencing a negative trend of 40%. But how do these dramatic numbers and this enormous decline in insects come about? There are a variety of reasons for this scale, but they are all man-made. Insect-rich habitats are being destroyed more and more. Swamps, heathlands, and even tropical rainforests are being cut down, burned, and destroyed. In the process, soils are degraded, rivers silted up, and nature polluted by chemicals from agriculture and industry. The use of fertilizers, insecticides, and pesticides is another reason for mass mortality. It is estimated that 5 million tons of pesticides are poured into the environment worldwide every year. But that's not the only thing insects have to contend with. They are also being severely affected by climate change. Climate change causes extreme weather situations such as storms, droughts, floods, and fires, which greatly exacerbates extinctions. Bumblebees, for example, can no longer live in the more southern edges of their range where they overheat in their furry coats. Weather changes used to happen quite slowly, so the insects which also lived in much larger populations could gradually colonize a new habitat. Today, things are different. On the one hand, the habitat change of the smaller populations has to happen much faster, and on the other hand, the search for a new habitat is made even more difficult by the fact that the natural habitat has been reduced and dispersed by urbanization and conversion to farmland. This mass extinction of insects has a significant impact on the existing ecosystem. If this disappearance continues and insects become extinct, we will die with them. Without insects, we cannot even continue to live here on our planet for 6 months. So every insect counts for us and the world. It is not too late yet. Many insect species are not yet extinct. Now, it's high time to do something about it.
So, our micro lesson on insect extinction. I hope you like the design, the information, and maybe that you learned something. Recreate the video with the tool Canva. It is a super easy to use platform, and you can not only create videos here but also posters, infographics, and much more. When you open Canva, you have to choose which format you want to select, and in our case we had to choose the video format. In the search bar at the top left, you can then select what you want to have displayed. In our case, for example, we were looking for insects or agricultural machinery, and once you have entered your search term, you can choose whether you want a photo, a video, or a graphic. And below you can see various suggestions for videos of insects, and where the button arrow points is the bar where you can cut the video. You can design the individual slides and customize the audio file, and The slides can simply be made longer or shorter, and this perfectly adapted to the audio. Now that I've shown you how the video was created, I'd like to show you how you can integrate the microlesson into your lessons. The video can be used in a wide variety of subjects, but it would fit well in subjects like biology, environmental science, geography, agriculture science, or chemistry. An example of what you could do to integrate the microlesson in the classroom is to have students create their own information material after watching the video, and this can be hung up in the school and encourage other students to think about the topic of insect extinction. The aim here is to create material that contains facts about the topic, and students repeat the information they learned in the video. Another idea is for students to form groups and discuss individual points of the video. They could discuss what can be done about insect extinction, or whether they knew that we could not live on the planet without insects. And in addition, further microlearning units on the same topic can be covered. There are some thematic blocks in our microlesson units. This means, for example, that there are other microlearning units on the topic of insects that contain a different core message but provide a good overview to the topic. For the topic of insects, for example, we have also created learning units that show why insects are so important on our planet and how they can be protected. Just to make this clearer to you, I have inserted a second microlesson here. This is an infographic that was also created with Canva, and it shows how each of us can become an insect protector. For example, if you have watched and discussed the video on insect extinction with the students, it is a good way to continue and conclude the topic, or just to remind the student once again that insect protection is important. Now we are already at the end of the presentation. Here you can see the sources of our microlesson and the presentation. I hope you enjoyed it and that you were able to follow my recorded voice well. Have a nice time and thank you for listening. Hello everyone.
Great. If you have any questions regarding Linda's presentation also, feel free to put in the chat. Great. So we will pass to our next presentation. It is from ADM, Sierra from Arquivo de la Memoria. She will explain to us about embodying sustainability values and also her organization experience in navigating digital environmental education in VAT. Sierra, it's a master's degree in international and European projects. She's been working with us for during the EDIT projects since last year. She's working in Arquivo de la Memoria for the past 2 years, in charge of management of part of the project activities, especially for what concerns research, training, coordinating, contact, and production of activities. So feel free now, Sierra, to present your content, and if you have any questions, again, feel free to put in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Patricia. Good morning, everyone. Hope you can hear me. I'm Chiara, and today I will be talking about embodying sustainability values and Arquivo de la Memoria's experience navigating digital environmental education in vocational education and training within the DIT projects. I will share our presentation now. Okay. Okay, so this is the title of our presentation. And we will basically go through the creation process that Arquivo de la Memoria has followed to create their digital micro lessons within the DEED project based on the Green Competence Framework. And we will focus specifically on the competence area of embodying sustainability values how we chose our content and key messages and how we structure all the micro lessons we created. Archivio della Memoria is a non-profit organization founded in 2002. Its main activities are education, research, and new media and web communication. ADM has more than 20 years of experience in creating digital content for education. The team for the DEED project is composed by a teacher, a researcher, and a content creator. And we followed a thorough process that started with research and planning, followed by content creation and design. We started from the Green Competence Framework. We chose the topics we wanted to cover and focused on exploring them from different angles. And so we have developed a series of micro lessons that can be used independently or in sequence. So like sequence of 3 to 4 micro lessons. And this approach will allow us to effectively engage students with the first lesson and then provide them with opportunities for further exploration as they progress through the other lessons. Here we have an example. We created a short video, a micro lesson in the form of a short video of around 4 or 5 minutes about protecting biodiversity to safeguard endangered species. This is an introductory informative video. And then we chose to create 3 more video for the specific a specific storytelling about endangered species. One video about Magellanian penguins in Patagonia, another one on Sundarbans tigers, and another one on polar bears. So this is a series of videos about endangered species. Okay, the Green Competence Framework was the core of our creative process. We started from the Green Competence Framework, and through this framework, we outlined which of the key competencies was essential for sustainability and which ones were appropriate for us. We use these competences guiding principles for our micro lessons, ensuring that they promoted holistic development in students. By aligning our educational approach with the principles of sustainability, we want to empower students to become conscientious global citizens, equipped with the skills and knowledge to tackle the challenges of tomorrow. How did we do that? We took the 4 competence areas, and then we chose specific competencies we were interested in developing. And for each competence, we decided a topic and a key message, and we developed different kinds of micro lessons. Basically short videos of different kind, videos with voiceover, videos with music and images and animations, video with subtitles, etc. And then we created also infographics and posters. For example, for the competence area of embodying sustainability values, we chose to create an infographic on supporting fairness competence about fairness in sustainability, addressing harm from hydroelectric plants in South America. So we told a story about this study case, or for the Embracing Complexity Futures in Sustainability competence area, we created an infographic on system thinking to develop system thinking competence about theories and models on sustainability, and so on. For example, for the competence area of acting for sustainability and the specific competence of political agencies, we created a video about the true cost of hydroelectric plants and the case study of Belo Monte Dam in Brazil. So this was our process. Within the competence area of embodying sustainability values, we zoomed in on the crucial competence of supporting fairness. This is an example. Our micro lessons delve into the complex issue of environmental injustice, emphasizing its impact on fairness in sustainability efforts, especially its impact on third world countries. By exploring topics such as environmental discrimination and unequal access to resources, learners will gain a deeper understanding of systemic inequalities. And our aim is to empower learners to become advocates of equity in environmental sustainability. This is an example of how we tackled the supporting fairness specific competence with the key message of addressing environmental injustices. We created a series of infographics. This is the first one, the environmental impact of fast fashion. We wanted to deliver the message that fast fashion pollution is a significant environmental issue that disproportionately affects third world countries, highlighting a serious environmental injustice. And we presented in the infographic 5 critical aspects of fast fashion pollution. And also we highlighted our role and what we can do to mitigate it. We talked about water pollution, textile waste, chemical pollution, carbon emissions, and microplastic pollution, with a focus on the consequences and the impact on third world countries. So we talked about supporting fairness, raising awareness about what are environmental justices. And here also we created a series of infographics to follow the first one. One is about how fast fashion pollutes water. So we were more specific about water pollution by fast fashion. Then we created another infographic about how to reduce microplastics in our everyday life, and we listed a series of concrete actions that we can do to reduce microplastics. And finally, we created a last infographic about environmental crisis caused by textile waste with information and data from the more recent years. So to go on, to create our videos and our posters and infographics, we used also Canva. Specifically for the infographic and posters, we used Canva, and for the short videos, we used Canvas combined with Adobe Premiere, and we also used from Sounds and Music the YouTube library of Sounds and Music. We chose specifically Canva because it offers an easy to use interface and an extensive library of graphics, fonts, and design elements that make it easy to create visually appealing teaching materials. And another thing that we decided to do within the DID project was creating for each micro lesson a lesson plan, which will go into the teacher's guide. Each microlessons lesson plan contains lesson-specific information, such as the competencies addressed, the key messages of the microlesson, the learning objectives, but also instructions, step-to-step instructions on how to deliver the lesson and follow-up activity. For example, for the infographics that one of the infographics that we have just showed you, we included suggestions for discussions and activities after the viewing of the infographic. We proposed group discussion activities, case studies analysis, and reflection activities, and then the follow-up activity, which is basically for the evaluation of the acquisition of the competence. I hope you found our presentation interesting, and I thank you for your attention, and have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Yara, for this amazing presentation. Now we will have our last presentation. So Maria from CESUR, she will present the Embodying Sustainability Values focused on promoting nature microlessons. CESUR is our Spanish partner. They are been working with us for a long time. Maria is graduated in occupational therapy from the University of Granada and master in teacher training of secondary education, vocational training, and language teaching, with specialization in training and vocational guidance. She has been working in different projects as Solaris, DEED, IHAPT, Healthcare, COVE, Access, DEED. So she has a lot of experience in European projects and also in microlessons and developer training material. So Maria, thank you for waiting, and be free to start your presentation.
Thank you very much, Patricia. Let me share my screen now. So I'm going to be quick, and let me share. So yeah, I'm occupational therapist, and I work in CESUR for 2 years already, and now I'm working in this DEED project, and I'm going to be focused on the embodying sustainability values focused on promoting nature microlessons. Here you have an example of how the microlessons would look like. Yeah. Patricia introduced me so nicely, and this is the index that I'm going to be focused. The lesson format that we use, and now the 6 microlessons that we created, and then in the middle I'm going to present how to use the microlessons. Many of my colleagues already presented, but I'm going to sum up. And an example of a microlessons is also included. The lesson format that we use is the Canva format for the infographics and videos. And also we use lots of videos made with CapCut. Some pros for Canva are the ease of use, because everyone is user friendly for the infographics, and the customization of the templates that the font. This provides you the tailoring of your microlessons so quickly. Then the cons for this Canva are that it is a limited free features that you have to be premium for profile for using all the templates, and the internet dependency that you have to be connected all the time for the use. And for the video, I would say some pros for them that are the engagement of the participants or the students at any time, anywhere, and the accessibility. And the cons are the preparation time, which is a lot. You need to be focused on the preparation of the video, the audio, the subtitles, and many other things that my colleagues already presented. And the passive learning, because many of the students may not be actively engaged as much as an activity, as Linda told us. And what else? This is my first micro lessons that we created. This is nature, resources, water, golf courses. In every single micro lessons, there is a key message, which is the message that we want to deliver to the students or the viewers. In this case, the key message is nature is a valuable resource that provides us with foods, water, and other essential resources. Here you have an example of how they look like. They have text and they have all link videos from YouTube, and you can go straight and know the story about golf courses. Let me show you one video which is so engaging for the viewers. The lesson is do you feel it? This is dry, which the key message is the biodiversity is essential for the health of our planet, and we must work to preserve it. I will pass it. Here you have a Doñana Park page of the WWF where you can collaborate. And in the text, it's just a sum up of the program that they show in the page. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Here there is a link where you can join the WWF program to preserve the nature in Doñanas Park in Huelva. And next is the nature significance. Here you have a presentation, an infographic where you can use many apps to help the nature, and in this case, the key message is educating people about the importance of the nature can inspire them to take action to protect it. So those apps are created to engage people to preserve the nature, and its main objective is to teach us that there are different methods to contribute to the care of nature, also through the use of smartphone applications. Sorry. Another micro lesson is the tote bags, the green tote bags, where the key message is the individuals can make difference by adopting sustainable practices in their daily lives, such as using reusable bags and water bottles. And the student can create actually their own tote bags, encouraging them to use them in order to reduce these plastic bag consumptions. Here, as I said before, is how to use those micro lessons. We all prepare this scenario templates or a scenario or lesson plans to be spread all over the professors that we would like to use them. All of them includes the title of the micro lessons, the objectives, the competence within the green competencies framework, the key message of the lessons, the duration, the materials needed, the preparation for the micro lesson, instructions to be given, and tips for delivery. And for example, I inserted like, you can offer a tailoring class for the tote bags and showcase the created bags at an exhibition in the study center, for example. So as our colleague Dana said, the green it must be a behavior, no? So thus, many activities that we created, we can deliver them into the real life. So I think that this 1% change can make a huge difference all over the world. Another micro lessons is empowering the empowering the future with solar energy. Here is another infographic where investing in renewable energy resources such as solar or wind power can reduce our reliance in fossil fuels and protect the environment. And here in the infographic, as I said before, there is a link for a YouTube video where by watching these YouTube videos, they can appreciate the benefits of using solar panels and thus be more sustainable and energy independent. Last but not least, there is another micro lesson, which the name is Does It Really? It's a combination of how to say it, analogy of a bike, where you can have the helmet, the backlog, the water bottle, the multi-tool, the bell, and then it is explained how the bike lock is alike in the nature, like it protects the environment. Like it does not produce toxic gases, or it takes up less space, like 16 bicycles take up the same space as one bicycle. So this is a great example to encourage students to use the bikes. And the key message here is reducing carbon emissions and mitigating climate change is critical for preserving nature and the planet for future generations. And as a conclusion, I could say that together, small actions can make a big impact on the environment, fostering environmental responsibility and sustainability for future generations. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoy the presentation on my other colleagues' presentations. And I leave the floor for Patricia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maria. So our last presentation, a surprise one. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to put in the chat. We will have our final presentation will be from Denmark. Ella will present Conscious Green Consumer Examples of Environmental Awareness and Sustainable Development on the example of Polish companies. Ella is currently working as a project manager. She's responsible for research and content development for various initiatives on Denmark computers in Poland. Also, she works, her main focus on a practical approach, inspiring others to take pro-ecological actions on a daily basis. So thank you, Ella, for sharing the content, and feel free to start your presentation. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. So I'm Ella from Denmark Computers Poland. Thank you all for the presentation, and I would like to share as well with you what we're working on, and with our lessons prepared as well. So we are based mainly our research and everything is based mainly like a part of this project on the sustainable choices made. So this what we want really underline, the sustainable. And this lesson, I will show you just an example of the lesson. It's main on the sustainable shopping choices and awareness. And I will show you how can be used like this by the practical examples. So the lessons, the main aim of these lessons is to engage students about the impact of consumption and to suggest ways of thinking more about the sustainable and sustainable friendly approach to shopping, not only to shopping, to sustainable choices, and to explain actually what does the green consumerism means. So we can start the discussion with this lesson about the green consumer and ask the students what is the green consumer, what they think. So this is how the lesson should be provided. We prepared the presentation of the 3 companies, and we can show how these companies, Polish companies, interfered with this green consumption and how you can reduce the damage of the environmental change. So the first company is Duffy. I don't know if you heard or not about this. This company mainly producing the kettles, bottles, and water filters. And you can use this and they are made of course, the bottles made of plastic. So I would like to show, this is the company director is saying like how, why they think the areas of the, how they think, what they think about the, how their company can influence the areas of sustainability. So you can show, but in this example, like how the process, when you're buying the bottles of water, I've got one as well, like a plastic one, unfortunately, with me, but you can exchange that for this plastic bottle as well, but with the filter, and is the bottle which is not which is replaceable, so we can use it for a couple of times, and you can see how much you can save at the end. So so one bottle will cost you like around €4, and then if you replace this with this bottle and use it for a month, you can see how much money it could be saved, and as well how much plastic could be saved. Another company, which is really like now in Poland is really maybe not famous, but really known. It's the InPost company, which is mainly, it's always it's it's taking it's like delivery company, so it's not door to door. It's like the building, like the you can choose the time when you can pick up the parcel. And this company introduced their ecological program as well, Eco Return Service. So you can use this is what you can return. So you can use this company to return a lot of items for free. So for example, not longer used clothes, tablets, smartphones, shoes, a lot of things, and you can post it for free. You can just go on this company website, find the form, and fill it and send it for free. So this is going through with our this company is really like implementing this what we're saying, this like a green consumption, and reduce using a lot of items, reduce the using these items, reduce the and not buying new things, because you can always reducing the amount of trash as well, which we compose. This is the in-post box, how it looks like. So it's really easy to use. And so this is what I was saying. You can just go online, fill the documents on the website, prepare the code, put it in your parcel, send it for free. And there's a lot of places where you can send it. And so as you can see, this is really this equipment, which is not reusable as well, is sent to the professional waste treatment facilities, and it can save more than 80% of the materials can be recovered from it. So it's the same with clothes, shoes, what we can see. Talking about shoes, actually, we can go to another Polish company, which is called Whoosh Whoosh. A company founded in 2015, and it's based on the passion for shoes and ecology, and about the idea of zero waste. So they professionally clean and repair shoes. The founder, Martyna Zastawna, of this company, wants to as well promote the circular economy in Europe, and is saying the pioneer of this in Poland as well. But pioneer, but she's not, maybe it's first, but it's showing us really nice ideas, what you can do. It's like not throw away the shoes straight away, because they are, but you can reuse them, you can clean them, you can repair them. And they are organizing a lot of workshops as well as a company. So they, as the name is of this from this workshop, excuse me, you can learn how to care of shoes, and as well why this is really good for the planet, how to clean them, what type of material use them, and practical tips. And as well, organizing there a lot of workshops about sustainable fashion and circular economy. I'm coming to the conclusion, because this is our lesson, and it's like a short presentation about this, introducing these companies, so you can see how this can be implemented in practice. So that's an example what you can do with an unused, reusable things, clothes, materials, shoes, or other things, and how you can become a green consumer. So I'll summarize this is like, so what we want to do actually through this lesson, to encourage students to take the action towards a sustainable consumerism, to be a sustainable green consumer, by making choices and responsible choices, and modifying the daily customer habits. So as well is to think about the big picture, not only about the plastic bag, plastic bottle, but as well about the general way of life, where you live, about the energy use as well, where you travel, the food, the fashion. So this is our main concept of this. And as well, what I can notice, because you mentioned researches at the beginning of the project, I did the research how this the circular economy, sustainable choices are sustainability is implemented in Poland, it was difficult to find a lot of things. So I hope this project and this what Lucy and my colleagues from the other my partners from the projects are doing. I hope it comes to this that we will be the great green customers. Thank you so much for listening. It was really nice to hear all of you.
Thank you, Ella, for this great presentation. Great. So we just finished all the presentations. Now we will pass to the Q&A session. Anna Paula,
Yes.
I think. Okay, great. You're collecting the questions, so feel free
Yes.
to start.
Yes,
And the
good
others, if they have
morning.
any
Good morning, everyone. We have several questions, not specific, but general questions. First one, we have a participant asking where can get all the information shared during this presentation, and to share also this information with the students.
Okay, maybe I can try to answer this. The best way to get in touch with us currently is through our running Facebook page. I would like to encourage you all to leave us a message or follow our Facebook page. The Facebook page is called EcoBits. And maybe, Patricia, could you share your screen, please, to show our participants how the web page, not web page, the Facebook page looks like? And
yes,
that could be maybe a little bit more specific. Yes.
I will put the link also.
Yeah, our page is called EcoBits Microlearning for Greener Future. And so far we have been sharing various interesting examples about teaching green competence or any kind of environmental education here. And feel free to follow this page or leave us a comment so that we can put you on our list. Of course, soon, we expect maybe after summer break, we will have a learning platform where all of these outputs, all of these 200 micro lessons in 7 or even 8 is the correct number, partner languages will be presented and shared to everyone. This platform will be running after summer. It is now being constructed, and users, it means teachers as well as their students, can use this platform for teaching all these green competence through the selected sequence of micro lessons that we will have learned by them. Well, this platform will also have a micro certification system, so it will be like automatic evaluation and assessment of the knowledge learned that will be assessed, and all students, learners will get certain badges after completion of certain level of the lessons, and whoever finishes all 200 lessons will be the green warrior of the planet. This side of our microlearning lesson and platform is currently under construction, so you can leave us the contact, and as soon as this platform is up online, we can inform you. You can do this also by leaving your contact information on the evaluation form, and Patricia will soon share the link to the evaluation form. If you give us your contacts, especially the email address where we can send you back the information about the development and the news on this project, we will do so as soon as we have anything, and we will also share the last newsletters about the project development with you. So these 3 channels are the best ways to contact us, but for now the evaluation form and the Facebook is what you can use right now.
Thank you very much, Lucy. We have two more questions. One question is, how can we do to help the non-developed countries to get this train, the train of green competences, the train of sustainability? How can we help them? It's difficult.
Yeah, well, whoever wants to answer can just jump in, of course. But what I can say at this moment is, just as we are doing right now through education, we do not have control over the education in underdeveloped countries, of course, and it is a process that takes time. But the only way to change things is to educate people, to change their behavior. So this is what we are doing here. But maybe through some non-governmental associations that have certain influence and they operate in the third world countries, those can disseminate educational programs like this, because we all understand, I understand where this question came from, because the people living in these countries probably represent the big part of the world population that do not have these skills and competencies to treat the earth properly and natural environment properly. So there is a huge amount of waste that is being created there. And we also know that many rich countries export their waste to these poorer countries, because this is sort of income for these poorer countries. So there are many questions related to this. And well, we cannot change everything, but we should focus on those things that we have power to change. And us as teachers can do our best by teaching our students the maximum in this area and teach them how to treat the planet.
So last question, Sara Ganzo asked, how can we synthesize industries, especially fashion, automobile, and many others to these subjects?
Excuse me, I didn't understand. How can
we synthesize industries, special fashion, automobile, and many others? How can we improve the sensibility of these type of industries for these topics?
Yeah. And again, I will just repeat myself, but by education. Industry has a lot of money, and those countries, those businesses that are enlightened, let's say in a way, put money into education of their employees, and they also have environmental programs. It's called like corporate social responsibility that they have against the nature and against the world population. So those organizations and businesses and companies that are enlightened, let's say, those already can do this. But business is money, and it always depends on the business management which way they choose. But again, enlightenment doesn't come just like that. Even the big company management needs to be educated. So this is another field or direction where to go for us as educators. We are creating the new generation of general managers in such companies. So if we teach them now, they will be those enlightened ones in the future.
Okay, so we have one more question, the last one. Are you planning more webinars?
Well, maybe Patricia can answer this.
Yes, so this is our first webinar, not planning. As a European project, we have final conferences and also final events. And if for this project, we will have each one of our participants, partners will have to run a webinar, a final one. So maybe at the end of this year we'll have we are 7 partners, so we have 7 different webinars. But during the sessions, during the life cycle of the project, who knows? But be aware. So just keep us posted, follow us on social media, and if we have any Green Webinar Volume 2, we will share with you, of course.
Well, this was our first webinar in this project, and looking at the participation and the real interest in this topic, I think we could even prepare a series of webinars on different topics and differently directed micro lessons, and we can be maybe even more practical in the future during these webinars and teach you how to use certain application for certain topics, and we can have even more richer discussion when our presentations will be more focused on certain aspects. We will certainly think of it, because the participation and the interest is very surprising for us and very pleasing, I must say. We never expected that many people participating at the webinar, so we certainly will think of continuation of these webinars.
Great.
So I think we will go through, because the time's up really. We will have to finish this webinar, but we will go through all your comments, and in case there are still some questions, I can see they are still appearing, but unfortunately there's no time to continue answering them. So I apologize for this, but we will try to prepare some like a conclusion, and we will send it out to you or try to post it on our web for you to read and to get your answers. Anyway, Patricia, now it's the time for the final evaluation, I think. So please, can you give information about this?
Yes, so I sent it now to our webinar chat, the link to our form. So feel free to start answering, and after that, you will trigger an email. Fill with your real email, because the certificates will be addressed to that specific email. And also, please, and the tab that mentions please enter your name, please put it the correct name, because the certificate will be generated with that specific name. So if you fill in the form and submit, I think 5 minutes after that, we will receive certificates. If not, please contact us. You have our emails, because we sent you the links yesterday. So if you have any issues, please contact us by email. The same one as I sent you the event link. So I will just share my screen just to. Okay, so you have this green webinar form. You put your name here first, and I think the last is enough. So put your email address and start answering the questions. And if you have any comments or suggestions, is in the other tab. And this we will put it, send it, and we will access your. You will receive your certificate. That's it. It's simple. It takes like 5 minutes, so it's not that long.
Even less. I received my certificate within 30 seconds, so it works.
Great. So that's it. Thank you all for participating. And if you have any questions or suggestions, or if you want to know more about our project, you have our contacts, you have our Facebook, you have our emails. So that's it. Thank you all.
And most of all, you can always go back to YouTube and watch the stream that will stay online on our YouTube channel, available anytime you want to come back to any part of our presentations.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye, and see you very soon at some of our future webinars.